All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. Huge news here. Huge stuff. Adam Schefter of ESPN is reporting that because Carl Lawson is going to miss the entire 2021 season, the Jets are currently trying to find a way to add a pass rusher to this football team. Okay, and a potential trade could be on the horizon before the season starts. To read that after the second preseason game gets me fired up. All right, now, I hate to be this guy, but the first name that jumps into my mind is Chandler Jones, the elite level pass rusher from the Arizona Cardinals. And what's crazy is when you think of, the superstars at the edge position, the defensive end spot, you think of guys like Khalil Mack, the Bosas, Myles Garrett, who else? TJ Watt, Von Miller, guys like that. Chandler Jones is never really in the top two, but in reality, the reality of the situation, Chandler Jones's numbers are right there. He is absolutely dominant. Outside of last year, where he only played in 5 games, this guy has been pretty much unstoppable. I think he had 5 years with back-to-back double-digit years, double-digit sack seasons. Are you kidding me? One of those was 17 sacks. One of those was 19 sacks. Chandler Jones produced in New England. He produced in Arizona. In multiple defenses here, this guy has been one of the most underrated players in my lifetime. And I know that's a big statement, but I'm 26 years old. To look back at underrated players, I feel like Chandler Jones never got that level of respect. Still to this day. People recognize that he's a good pass rusher, but his name has popped up here and there about a potential trade. Now, we look at the Arizona Cardinals right now. They went out and they acquired J.J. Watt. We'll see what what their plan is. I don't know if they're pressing to move him right now, immediately, but it would probably take a considerably high pick from the New York Jets. I mean, that whenever you're trying to acquire something nice, you're going to have to give up a pretty big price. Now, this is my take on the whole situation, okay? I think if we want to look at the defensive end position, and by the way, I think we need to take a look at guard too, interior offensive line help. We lost McDermott, AVT is hurt. Obviously Alex Lewis just retired. I feel like Cam Clark is down. He's injured as well. I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the interior of the offensive line. But going back to defensive end here, I think there's a lot of potential suitors in the free agency market that's a little more attractive because you don't have to give up, a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, and pay the guy. All you have to do is just pay him. And right now, if he is a free agent, it's not like he's asking for $15 million a season. No, not in the least. Some guys that come to mind: Olivier Vernon, Vic Beasley, Ezekiel Ansah, Dion Jordan, Bruce Irvin. Who else? Maybe an Adrian Claiborne. Yeah, a lot of those guys are up there in age, but when I look at Ansah and Dion Jordan, both of those guys have playing experience in this style of system with Robert Saleh. There has been a significant level of interest in both of those guys from Saleh himself. They both had time with the San Francisco 49ers defense in the past couple of seasons. So it'll be interesting to see if the Jets just bring somebody in, at least for a workout. I would expect something there, but Schefter, I felt like purposely added in that last line to the tweet saying a potential trade could happen here. But here's the deal. If we're not trading for, I don't want to be in the business, and I can only speak for myself here. I don't want to be in a situation where we're trading away a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, valuable draft assets for somebody who will be on the bench when Carl Lawson gets back, or who's only a 1-year stopgap type of player. I feel like if we pull off a trade like this, it needs to be for one of the upper echelon pass rushers in the league, because I just don't feel comfortable looking at this young team, looking at the season that we just came off of, a 2-14 year, and kind of just taking a look at our division, the schedule, and everything like that. I feel like there's going to be some speed bumps along the way for sure. I don't necessarily feel like the Jets are in any sort of position to be giving away their young draft assets, which in turn means young talented players on the roster, for a guy that will only be here 1 year and then will hit the road in free agency next season. Maybe a guy that will come in and get 6 sacks. If we trade a 3rd round pick for a player and he gets 5.5 sacks, then I don't like that value at all. Or multiple late round guys, or multiple late round picks rather, like a 5th and a 6th, a 4th and a 7th next year, or a future 7th, something like that. I just feel a little weird giving away draft assets when we're a young rebuilding team for non-core pieces. But with that said, I mean, maybe a Robert Quinn if the Jets want to go down that route. I don't know if they want to, shell out the cash. But man, I mean, the defensive end position on this defense is massive. The role, the responsibility of if you don't have good defensive ends that can pressure the quarterback, it's going to be a long, long day for the defense. And we saw that, Salah's first year in San Francisco, the defense wasn't the best. It wasn't until they added some solid pass rushers to that defense where the production skyrocketed. It shot up. Okay, so I love how the Jets are they're being proactive here. They're not resting on their laurels saying, Carl Lawson's gone. Oh well, that stinks. No, not in the least. Joe Douglas, according to Adam Schefter here, he's trying to make something happen. He's trying to make a move to improve this football team, and that is what you love to hear. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who do you want the Jets to acquire here? A potential free agent for a bargain? A trade for a big name guy like Chandler Jones, maybe a middle tier average player, Robert Quinn style of move. I don't know. Do you feel comfortable giving away draft picks? For me, I don't feel comfortable, but that's just me personally. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.